small table in my family's kitchen while their annual Christmas Eve party glittered in the main dining room. 4 months, I'd maintained my cover of financial hardship, letting them believe their struggling daughter couldn't afford a proper home. "More wine for the main table, dear," my mother called through the service door. "And do try not to let the guests see you." If they only knew that my financial troubles had led me to build one of the city's most successful real estate firms. My newest penthouse development crowned the skyline just visible through their kitchen window. "At least she has somewhere to eat tonight," my sister Victoria remarked to her society friends. "Though the servants' table does seem appropriate." I hid my smile serving their wine. Through the window, I could see my helicopter waiting discreetly on the neighbor's helipad, a favor from a business partner. "Remember when she thought she could develop property?" Victoria laughed, as if she understood real estate. My phone buzzed silently, another update about tonight's reveal. Everything was in place. "The help these days," my mother sighed to her guests. "At least we can offer her a meal on Christmas." I kept my expression neutral, remembering their mockery when I'd left my prestigious banking career to start my development company. They'd called it reckless. I called it brilliant. James, my head of operations, appeared in kitchen staff attire. He was the only one who knew my true identity here. "Everything's ready," he whispered. "The penthouse awaits." "Perfect," I replied quietly, watching my family's Christmas party through the service door. My phone lit up. Forbes interview confirmed for midnight. City's mystery developer reveals all. Soon they'd learn that their kitchen help had engineered the most exclusive property in Manhattan. I served another round of wine, each crystal glass worth less than an hour of my property income. None of them recognized me as the developer whose buildings they envied. Let them enjoy their holiday party. In a few hours everything would change. At exactly 11:30 p.m. my phone buzzed with the signal. Through the kitchen window I watched my helicopter's lights draw closer, right on schedule. "More champagne for the main table," my mother called. "And Sarah, do try to be discreet about your situation." "Actually," I smiled, removing my simple dress to reveal elegant evening wear underneath. "I have my own dinner engagement to attend." The kitchen door swung open as James entered, now dressed in his proper executive attire. "Miss Chin, your helicopter has arrived." The crystal glasses in my mother's hands crashed to the floor. "What helicopter?" Victoria demanded, rising from the main table. The distinctive sound of rotor blades grew louder as my aircraft settled onto the neighboring helipad, its sleek black form bearing my company's logo. "The one taking me to my penthouse," I replied calmly. "You know, the one you've all been trying to get invited to for months? The mysterious Summit Tower development." My father stood abruptly. "That's impossible. Summit Tower belongs to Chin Development Group," I finished as James handed me my portfolio. "Founded by your struggling daughter 3 years ago." The dining room fell silent as realization dawned. Through the windows they could see my helicopter's lights and beyond that the towering spire of Summit Tower, my crowning achievement. "But you've been eating in our kitchen," my mother whispered. "Market research," I smiled. "Best way to understand the luxury market is to observe it firsthand. Though your wine selection could use some improvement." Victoria's face had gone pale. "The development everyone's talking about is mine," I confirmed. "Along with 6 other major properties in the city. Those buildings you've been admiring? I designed them while you thought I was failing." My phone buzzed again. "City Planning Commission approves next Chin development project. Value, $2.8 billion. "James," I turned to my executive, "please ensure the penthouse is ready. I believe my family might benefit from seeing what their kitchen help has been developing." "Of course, Ms. Chin. The other guests have already arrived." "Other guests?" my mother asked faintly. "Just a few friends," I replied. "The mayor, some CEOs, the usual crowd. We're celebrating my latest acquisition, that building your country club tried to buy." Victoria sank back into her chair. "The one they said was purchased by a brilliant young developer." "Your brilliant young developer has been serving your wine all evening," I smiled. "Though I prefer the vintages in my own cellar." The helicopter's pilot signaled time to go. Outside, news vans were beginning to arrive for the midnight reveal of Summit Tower's mysterious owner. "Now," I straightened my designer jacket. Who'd like to see what real estate success looks like? I have room for everyone. The penthouse is rather larger than this dining room. My family stood frozen, their Christmas party forgotten as their understanding of success shifted dramatically. The servants' table, my mother said weakly, was quite educational, I assured her. Amazing what you can learn about luxury preferences when people think you're just the help. James appeared with our coats. Miss Chin Forbes is waiting at the penthouse. Shall we? I gestured to my stunned family. Unless you prefer to stay here with the champagne I can no longer recommend? The helicopter ride was silent. My family pressed against the windows as we soared above the city. Below us, their prestigious neighborhood shrank to insignificance beside the towering monuments of my success. Welcome to Summit Tower, I announced as we landed on my private helipad, 60 stories above the city. Rather different from the kitchen table, isn't it? They stepped into my penthouse, a 12,000 square foot masterpiece of design and innovation. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered panoramic views of the city, including their now tiny Christmas party glittering far below. Miss Chin, my actual house staff greeted professionally. The guests are assembled in the main salon. Thank you, Harrison, I smiled. Please show my family to the dining room. They must be hungry after their kitchen experience. Victoria clutched her designer purse as we passed through rooms larger than their entire house. This is what actual real estate success looks like. I finished. Amazing what one can build while serving wine at family parties. The main salon buzzed with city elite politicians, CEOs, celebrities, all here to celebrate my latest acquisition. Sarah, the mayor called out. There's my favorite developer. That downtown renewal project is brilliant. My mother nearly fainted as the governor joined us. Miss Chin, your vision for the city is revolutionary. Speaking of revolution, I guided my family to the window wall. See that construction site? The one next to your country club. Victoria nodded mutely. That's my next project. The club tried to block it, not knowing they were opposing their wine server. I smiled. They'll be announcing their new ownership tomorrow. I bought them too. My father found his voice. All this time, while you were hiding me in the kitchen? I raised an eyebrow. I was building an empire. Each property you admired, each development you envied, all created by your embarrassing daughter. My phone buzzed. Chin Development Group, now city's largest private real estate firm. The simple dress, my mother whispered, was Chanel, I confirmed. Though watching you assume it was from a discount store was rather enlightening. Really showed me how appearances shape luxury marketing. James appeared with updates. Another project approved, another property acquired, another billion added to our portfolio. Your Christmas parties, Victoria said faintly, are rather more exclusive, I agreed, gesturing to my guests. Though I do keep a small kitchen table, to remind me how some people view success. The Forbes photographer approached. Miss Chin, we're ready for the cover shoot. Wonderful, I nodded. Perhaps by the service entrance? A little irony for the kitchen to penthouse story. My family watched as the city's elite competed for my attention, as deals worth billions were casually discussed, as their kitchen helper was revealed as a real estate mogul. The servants' table, my mother began, taught me everything about how not to treat people, I finished. Every property I develop includes exceptional staff facilities. Success shouldn't mean forgetting where you've Saturday. Through the windows, their Christmas party looked like a distant dollhouse. Above it rose my buildings, each one a testament to what they'd failed to see. Your new project, my father said carefully, will change the skyline again, I confirmed. Though I might keep that kitchen table. Some views are worth remembering. As midnight approached, glasses were raised for the official announcement. My family stood awkwardly as their poor relative was revealed as the city's most influential developer. To Miss Chin, the mayor proposed, who saw opportunity where others saw only kitchens. My phone lit up one final time. Chin Development Group revolutionizes urban luxury, mystery developers empire revealed. I smiled, remembering their words. The servants' table is perfect. They were right, it was perfect. Perfect for observing, learning, and planning something far grander than they could imagine. Sometimes the best view of success isn't from the main dining room. It's from the kitchen where you're forced to serve it. And sometimes the greatest developments aren't just buildings, but the perspectives they change. As the city sparkled below us, I raised my glass. To family dinners, I toasted. And to remembering that success can start anywhere, even at the servant's table. My mother clutched her champagne, watching her kitchen helper command the city's elite. Victoria stared at the buildings bearing my name, her social status suddenly insignificant. After all, the best revenge isn't just building a higher tower, it's inviting them up to see exactly how far their kitchen help has risen. And that servant's table? I had it brought to the penthouse. A reminder that sometimes the path to the top starts at the bottom, serving wine to those who never bothered to see what you were really building. In real estate they say location is everything. But sometimes the most valuable location isn't the